Why is 95% of Australia completely empty? This is Australia, the sixth largest country in the world. It is so vast that two large countries like India could fit inside it. However, as of today, 95% of Australia is completely deserted. It means 90% of Australia's population is concentrated in just less than 1% of its area. There are numbers of reasons to it, but the last ones will shock you. Most people only know the vibrant cities on the coast, but the vast majority of the continent is shockingly empty. In fact, the further you go from the north, south, east, or west borders, the lower your chances of survival become. Imagine a country as big as the United States, but with a population smaller than Texas. Just a few people can imagine the absolute scale of this emptiness. We're talking wide open spaces that stretch for miles and miles with barely a soul in sight. So what's up with that? Is there a secret kangaroo rave we don't know about? Or did Australia just decide to take social distancing to a whole new level? Let's explore why the land of kangaroos, koalas, and endless barbecues is mostly uninhabited. Number 1. Harsh climate. Picture this. You're walking through a desert, it's 40 degrees Celsius, and there's not a single water fountain in sight. Welcome to the Outback, which is more like a giant oven. It's so dry and hot, even cacti need sunscreen. Seriously, the heat is so intense that even the toughest Aussies think twice before venturing too far inland. It's like nature's way of saying, stick to the coast, my friend. Speaking of water, let's talk about H2O. Water is a precious commodity in Australia, especially in the interior regions. With low rainfall and unpredictable weather patterns, finding a reliable water source can be like searching for a needle in a haystack in the desert while blindfolded. Who wants to live miles from water? The beach is where it's at. Easy showers and all. On top. Number 2. Geographic isolation. Imagine Australia as the ultimate social distancing champion of the southern hemisphere. Being such a big island, it's already pretty isolated. But the Outback takes it to a whole new level. The Outback is like the ultimate me-time zone. Forget the corner store. Outback living means planning ahead because that milk run might take all afternoon. It's basically social distancing on extreme mode. But this is not the end. There are still unheard reasons to come. Number 3. Historical factors. This land has a long and fascinating history dating back over 65,000 years to the arrival of the Aboriginal people. These early inhabitants were the first to navigate and thrive in this diverse environment. The Aboriginal Australians have thrived in these harsh conditions for tens of thousands of years, living in harmony with the land and its rhythms. But when European settlers arrived, they set up camp along the coast. Why? Because they weren't keen on becoming crispy critters in the Outback. Plus, coastal areas had fertile land and access to the sea for trade. The interior was just too harsh and unexplored territory. So, the tradition of coastal living continued, and the Outback remained the wild, untamed heart of Australia. The arrival of Europeans brought new challenges, including diseases that decimated indigenous populations and land dispossession that continues to impact Aboriginal communities today. The clash of cultures led to significant changes, some of which are still felt in contemporary Australian society, which links to the next contributing factor. Number 4. Modern appeal. Forget the Outback, hit the beach. Modern life is all about convenience, and Australia's coast delivers in spades. Imagine waking up to sparkling blue water, then strolling down to grab a latte with a view. Need a culture fix? World-class cities like Sydney, with its iconic opera house, are a short drive away. Feeling adventurous? Dive into the technicolor world of the Great Barrier Reef. Australia's coast is a magnet for a reason. It offers the best of both worlds. Stunning natural beauty, and all the modern comforts you crave. Why live in the scorching desert when you can enjoy the beach life, sip on a flat white, and catch some waves? The coastal cities offer everything you need, from jobs and education to healthcare and entertainment. It's a no-brainer. Number 5. Dangerous wildlife. Australia's not just empty, it's wild. We're talking 8-legged wonders and nightmare reptiles that'll have you checking your shoes twice, snakes that could swallow a tire, spiders the size of dinner plates, and crocs that look like they walked straight out of a monster movie. Australia is home to some of the world's deadliest creatures. These awesome and sometimes terrifying creatures rule the outback. Sure, in the cities, you might see a huntsman spider chilling in the corner, but out there, it's a full-blown wildlife party. Living with that menagerie 24/7 just isn't everyone's cup of tea. It's basically like living in a real-life Jurassic Park, minus the fancy jeeps. And, well, dinosaurs. Yes, Australian wildlife is pretty dangerous, but giving like to this video is quite safe, guaranteed. Now let's wrap it up. In a nutshell, the reason 95% of Australia is empty boils down to a mix of harsh climate, water scarcity, geographic isolation, population distribution, and of course, the wildlife. But let's not forget historical factors. The arrival of European settlers definitely changed the landscape of Australia. Understanding this history is crucial to acknowledging the depth of the impact on the Aboriginal people and recognizing the importance of preserving their culture and rights in today's Australia. But don't let that fool you. Australia is anything but empty when it comes to adventure and beauty, so feel free to add it to your bucket list with no regret. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating facts, and let us know in the comments, what's the craziest myth about Australia you've heard? See you next time.